When Russia invaded Ukraine on the 24th of February, Nepal was completely unaware of the number of Nepali nationals in the Eastern European country. As tensions escalated, people started to flee the war-hit country and countries across the world rushed to evacuate their citizens. Nepal neither had plans nor the wherewithal. Last year in August, also when the Afghan capital fell to the Taliban, the government of Nepal could not do anything to rescue its citizens. Good morning, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Local governments failed to guarantee basic health services despite a lavish budget released by the centre. General public at the receiving end. Candidates found to spend higher than the Election Commission benchmark for local polls. Election influenced by financial aspect rather than political agenda. Ukraine accuses Russian forces of killing 7 civilians in an attack on women and children trying to flee fighting near Kiev. France says Putin is not ready to make peace. And Cristiano Ronaldo scores first Manchester United hat-trick in 14 years as Tottenham Hotspur tastes a sour defeat in a thrilling encounter at Old Trafford. The government has been increasing the budget in the health sector every year in a bid to guarantee basic necessities to the general public. The health sector has been in top priority of the budget in the past 2 fiscal years. Now, the budget of Sangwa Sava's Votkhola rural municipality is around 220 million rupees. The rural municipality spends almost 15 million rupees in the health sector. However, all the 13 health institutions in the rural municipality are operated by assistant health workers. The local residents have to reach the district headquarters Khatbari even for minor treatment and have to go through the pains of chartering a helicopter for major treatment in Kathmandu. The 6 local levels in Teruthum have an annual budget of over 1 billion rupees. However, the health infrastructures in almost all the local levels are in a feeble condition. There are cases where local levels, instead of investing in the health sector, have been spending on the construction of view towers, undermining the need for health infrastructures. The 7 local levels of Dhankuta have a budget of almost 4 billion rupees, out of which only around 60 million rupees is spent in the health sector. The budget has been spent only on medicine purchase, salaries of employees, nutrition for lactating mothers, among others. In the absence of proper facilities, the residents of Dhankuta municipality are compelled to go to other districts for treatment. In the 137 local levels in Province 1, there are 360 basic hospitals and primary health centers. However, some government health centers lack health workers while others lack equipment. The centre provides budget to the local levels. Apart from this, the local level government also raises revenue through its own resources. However, citizens have been deprived of easy access to health services out there. Election expenses have increased in recent times, making it difficult for individuals likely involved in politics to file candidacy. The candidates are responsible for the expenses for the election, including receiving tickets as well as running election campaigns. The candidates, however, have been spending higher than the benchmarks set by the Election Commission. The election has been highly influenced by financial aspect and power display rather than political agenda. The Election Commission allocates poll expenditure ceilings for every election, but the limit fails to be implemented. Various top brass leaders have publicly cited financial reasons for not being able to file their candidacy. The Election Commission this year has proposed the expense limit for candidacy for mayor at 750,000 rupees and deputy mayor at 550,000 rupees. Likewise, the expense limit allowed for candidates of municipality chief is proposed at 450,000 rupees, while the candidates of chairperson of rural municipalities are to be allowed to spend 350,000 rupees during election campaigns. The Election Commission, however, has failed to take action against those exceeding the expense limits. Meanwhile, the onset of the election fervor, in fact, leaders within the parties have begun competing for poll tickets. Due to the ongoing trend of candidates spending lavishly during election campaigns, leaders who shot into power try to compensate for their early expenses that only harbor institutional corruption. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces regarding their opinion on ways to minimize expenses by candidates during elections. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice brought to you by अम्बे स्टिल्स जे बन्छ दिगो बन्छ 3 गुना बढी टिक्छ दाम ठीक छ हुलास ग्याल्भोलुम शक्तिशाली हंसी सिमेन्ट अब 53 ग्रेड सहित हंसी सिमेन्ट डिश होम फाइब्रोनेट प्रेजेन्ट्स मेगाफाई खुशीको अपग्रेड साधारण बल्ब भन्दा उज्यालो वेगा एलईडी बल्ब भविष्य उज्यालो छ पञ्चकन्या टीएमटी फलामे छड सदैव विश्वासिलो जगदम्बा सुपर शाइन तथा जगदम्बा ग्याल्भा प्लस जस्ता पाता भविष्य सोचौं स्मार्ट बनाऊ पानी बचाऊ पञ्चकन्या स्टेनलेस स्टिल ट्याङ्क
आचार संहिता विपरीत काम गरेको पाइएमा चाहिँ तत्कालै कारबाही गर्ने स्पोर्टमै कारबाही गर्ने काम चाहिँ अगाडि बढाउन सके खण्डमा राम्रो हुन्छ
अनुगमनकर्ताहरूले अनुगमन पनि गर्नु पर्यो
जनताहरूले पनि कसले के गर्दैछ भनेर चनाखो हुनु पर्यो
मतदातालाई सचेत बनाउने सुसूचित गर्ने खालको चाहिँ शिक्षामा जोड दिनुपर्छ
पैसा बाँडिरहेको रहेछन् भनेदेखि चाहिँ तिनीहरूलाई कडा भन्दा कडा कारबाही गर्ने
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what could be the reason for the lack of improvement in the health facilities at the local levels? Your options are A, budget crunch, B, lack of human resource, and C, no monitoring. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C, and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look into the top stories one more time. Local governments fail to guarantee basic health services despite a lavish budget released by the centre. General public at the receiving end. Candidates found to spend higher than the Election Commission benchmark for local polls. Election influenced by financial aspect rather than political agenda. Ukraine accuses Russian forces of killing 7 civilians in an attack on women and children trying to flee fighting near Kiev. France says Putin is not ready to make peace. And Cristiano Ronaldo scores first Manchester United hat-trick in 14 years as Tottenham taste a sour defeat in a thrilling encounter at the Old Trafford. So that is all for the bulletin. Will air at 11 a.m. Thank you for staying with us. Have a beautiful day ahead.